from Biotechnology Department of KMC Language University. The topic of my today's lecture is properties of monosaccharides. Previously, under the carbohydrate topic, we have learned about the carbohydrate classification and general structure of monosaccharides with their example. Today we will learn important aspect of monosaccharide, that is properties, dealing with physical and chemical properties. So what are these? Under physical properties, starting with color and shape, it is colorless and crystalline compound, while it is readily soluble in water, and all monosaccharides are sweet in taste. Another important physical property, it is known as mutarotation. It is the rotation of plane polarized light in a freshly prepared solution and in an old solution. So what happened when there is a freshly prepared solution of both the anomers of glucose, that is alpha D glucose and beta D glucose. These are anomers of glucose. So alpha D glucose has a specific rotation of light, that is 112 degree, while beta D glucose has its specific rotation of light 18.7 degree. But when they become old, the solution becomes old, their specific rotation of light is changed to 52.7. This is mentioned here in the structure. In presence of water, if it is freshly prepared, its specific rotation is 112 degree. In both the case, alpha D glucose, and in the case of beta D glucose, it is 18.7. But when the solution becomes old, the mutarotation occurs. The rotation of plane polarized light is changed to this much, 52.7 degree. Now another important property is it stereo and optical isomerism. They are both connected to each other and they are both dependent on the chiral carbon, that is also known as asymmetric carbon. So these two properties, stereo and optical isomerism, it is due to chiral carbon. What is chiral carbon? Those carbon which are surrounded by 4 different atoms or molecules. These are known as chiral or asymmetric carbon. So this is the basis for stereo and optical isomerism. So these type of compound which have chiral carbon, they are known as optically active. What is optically activity? It is the rotation of plane polarized light. This type of compounds which are optically active, they can rotate plane polarized light in optical rotation towards right, that is clockwise. This is known as dextrorotation, while its opposite, that is towards left, it is known as levorotation, and they are both denoted by symbol D plus and L minus. So D glucose is always dextrorotatory, denoted by D plus, while L glucose, it is denoted by L minus. So do not confuse with both the D and L. D, capital D and capital L. These are isomers, stereoisomers of glucose. D series and L series. These are different from this optical rotation towards dextrorotatory and levorotatory. So there is a separate term. These are D and L isomers, and this D plus and L minus, it denote dextrorotatory and levorotatory. Some compounds like D glucose, which occurs naturally inside our body, these are D plus in origin, that is dextrorotatory and denoted by positive sign, while L glucose is levorotatory, denoted by L minus sign. So such compounds which are identical in composition, same molecular and structural formula, but differs in spatial configuration of atoms, these are called stereoisomers. Important point to be noted, what is mentioned here, it differs only in spatial configuration as shown here in the structure. The molecular and structural formula is same for both the isomers D and L, but what is the change? It is the change in spatial configuration around carbon atom from second to fifth carbon atom. You are seeing here in the case of D-glucose, the second to fifth carbon, in most of the cases, hydrogen group is on the left hand side, while hydroxyl group is on the right hand side. But here in case of L-glucose, most of the hydroxyl group is on the left hand side, while hydrogen is on the right hand side. This is the difference between D and L stereoisomers, also known as enantiomers, because they are mirror image of each other. That is why they are known as enantiomers, and they are non-superimposable on each other because of mirror imaging. This is mentioned about the D and L series. I have told you that is the difference between D series and dextrorotatory, L series and levorotatory. These are both different, both not denoted by the same term. If it is the capital D, capital L, mentioned here, it is the isomers. But if it is the denoted by small d plus and L minus, it is known as dextrorotatory and levorotatory. So this dextrorotatory means the light is rotated towards clockwise on the right hand side, while levorotatory means the light is rotated toward left hand side, that is anti-clockwise. Another important physical property, it is epimerism. So what is this epimerism? It is the difference in sugar from one another with response to a single carbon atom. The change in spatial configuration around a single carbon atom between different types of sugar, it is known as epimerism. Since we are learning about monosaccharide property, so here in this case glucose has two epimers known as D-mannose and D-galactose. So what is the difference? As I told you, it is the change in spatial configuration around a single carbon atom with reference to glucose. Here in case of mannose, the change in single carbon atom is around second carbon atom. Hydroxyl group is on the left hand side, while in case of another epimer of glucose, that is known as D-galactose, the change is on the fourth carbon. In the fourth carbon, hydroxyl group is on the left hand side with reference to D-glucose. Anomers, another physical property of monosaccharide. I have told you starting from the lecture, that is the denoted by alpha and beta form. What is the definition? It is produced by difference in spatial configuration with reference to first carbon atom in aldoses and second carbon atom in ketoses. And there are two anomers of glucose, these are alpha and beta varieties. So here from the structure, there is the difference between alpha and beta only around the first carbon atom. Since we are talking about the aldoses, so difference is here in only on the first carbon. If we are talking about the ketoses, then that difference on the second carbon atom, means the carbon which bears the functional group is responsible for anomerism. That carbon is known as anomeric carbon. So here in the case of this glucose, alpha D-glucose has first carbon, hydroxyl group is on the right hand side, while in case of beta D-glucose, the hydroxyl group is on the left hand side. So this is the difference between alpha and beta anomers of glucose. Now about the chemical properties of monosaccharides. So the chemical properties of monosaccharides, the first important property, reducing action of sugars. Most of the monosaccharides and some disaccharides, these are all reducing sugar. So what is the property behind this reducing action of sugars, especially of monosaccharides? Because these monosaccharides are disaccharides which are reducing sugar, they have free anomeric carbon. As I told you in the previous, that this is the first anomeric carbon. Here, if it is free, it is not involved in glycosidic linkage, not bounded by another carbon, another monosaccharide, then this is known as reducing sugar. So all monosaccharides are reducing sugar, while some disaccharides are reducing sugar. All monosaccharides, they are never bounded to another monosaccharide. They are itself a single unit, just like glucose, fructose, galactose, and mannose. They are single unit. They are not like acidic bonding. So these are all reducing sugar. So any sugar with free aldehyde or ketonic group of anomeric carbon are known as reducing sugars, and they will reduce Benedict reagent. Another aspect of reducing sugar tested by Benedict test. So this Benedict test is done for detecting reducing sugar in urine. That is an important test of diabetes mellitus. So besides these monosaccharides, all monosaccharides, these are reducing sugar. Some disaccharide like lactose and maltose, these are also reducing sugar. Now another important chemical property is oxidation of monosaccharides to acids. So under different condition of oxidation, monosaccharides are turned into different types of acids. So here in the case of mild oxidation, the acid produced, general name is aldonic acid. So glucose is converted into gluconic acid by this type of oxidation, while another type of oxidation here, uronic acid is formed. Here the example is glucouronic acid. While the last type of oxidation, it is strong oxidation compared to these two mild oxidation. In this, the glucose turn into saccaric acid, and the specific name is glucosaccaric acid. There are three types of acid formed under oxidation of monosaccharides, especially aldoses, aldonic acid, uronic acid, and saccaric acid. These are the examples: gluconic acid, uronic acid, and glucosaccaric acid. These are all found by glucose, one of the example of monosaccharides. These are shown here in the structure. So when first carbon is changed to carboxylic group, it is known as gluconic acid. While if first carbon is protected, only the last carbon is changed, it is known as glucouronic acid. While if both the carbon, first and sixth carbon, are changed to carboxylic group, they are known as glucosaccaric acid. So the last important property, chemical property of monosaccharide, they are reduced to alcohol. It is the reduction property of monosaccharide. Do not confuse with reducing sugar and reduction. In the case of first chemical property, reduced sugar, monosaccharides or other reducing sugar, they can reduce Benedict reagent. Here they are itself reducing to alcohol. Here from the structure you are seeing glucose can be reduced to sorbitol, while fructose can be reduced to both sorbitol and D-mannitol. So in this case of reduction, monosaccharides are reduced to alcohol. So this is about important today's topic. Thank you very much. We will continue in the next lecture about the next aspect of carbohydrates. Thank you everybody.